It is April 2nd. It is day 72 of the Trump presidency. And I'll be honest, I feel like today's headlines should have been yesterday's headlines because it's almost like a fucking prank what Trump is doing today. It is Liberation Day, everyone. Are you so excited? It's Liberation Day. It is in full effect. And the stock market, I believe, has lost $2 trillion in valuation after hours. They said that we're going to wake up to like an absolute bloodbath tomorrow. I'm sorry for smiling. It's not funny. You know, I know a lot of people are extremely dependent and they're living off their 401ks and they're heavily invested in the stock market. Again, this is a good time to be kind of poor. I have a house and a car. I don't have any stocks. So it's easy for me to sit here and fucking laugh. So please, I'm sorry if it's offensive. I'm really sorry. Also, though, this is just such a fucking shit show, okay? It's just such a shit show. So he put blanket tariffs on like every single fucking country on earth. And let's go over. I'm just gonna list a couple. You can see there's charts everywhere. They're literally like everywhere you look. There's a chart of the fucking tariffs. Okay. So if you want to know the exact numbers, go and look. But it's like averaging around 30% per country. Some of the notable ones are a 34% tariff on China, a 20% tariff on the EU, a 24% tariff on Japan. I don't know. Again, there's a whole huge list. So I just told my friend who was asking me a bunch of questions about this because I love economics. I think it's fascinating, but I do not understand the nuances behind all of this. I really don't. I just hear everyone saying that is it Shroot-Hawley? Basically, long story short, every time a president has done this, it has caused economic collapse. And so you think that they wouldn't do it anymore. And also, oh shoot, what was I going to say? I was going to tell you something about that economic collapse idea. I mean, I think the people that are experts seem to be talking about this the same way that I remember disease experts talking about COVID when it started. People seem really freaked out. Even the people, like I follow a few sort of like economics guys on TikTok and, you know, even the ones that I would consider to be extremely highly logical and level-headed seem like pretty concerned. We'll use the word concerned. We'll see what happens. You know, I think a lot of people kind of thought he wasn't really going to do this. I don't know why they thought that. I think a lot of people also think that this is like a trick and that they're gaming the market or that he's just going to shut it off. I don't know. I mean, I guess time will tell, right? Like, it depends. I've heard that there are some Republicans, well, actually, we're going to get to that are sort of like voting against pieces of this. Anything could happen, right? If this turns into a huge war behind the scenes in the Republican Party, then maybe he'll back down. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, babe. Anyways, that's what we're working with today. Tomorrow is probably going to be an absolute shit show. Not that there has been a single day that hasn't been a shit show in some time, because, you know, you're here too. You know how it's going. So Tesla is being called, they had like their quarterly reports and it's being called an absolute disaster. They're down over 34%. There's some money missing. So their books, accounting shows $1.4 billion missing. That's interesting. You know, Elon's been accused of fudging numbers in other countries, so I would be curious about that. We'll see what happens. Sorry. I am so tired. Just a quick little bit about me is that this new job is very like calming to my nervous system right now because I'm just sort of taking a break and studying. Like I'm not doing what I was doing before, which was a kind of more high intensity. And I will eventually be like running a lot of meetings, but for the time being, I'm just sort of, I'm like taking a nap. Not really. I'm still like learning a lot, but I'm not having a ton of human interaction. So it's making me very tired. So I apologize. I feel like I could sleep for like 3 days right now. In any case, yeah, Tesla is fucked. And I kind of don't see Tesla recovering. And I think a lot of experts there also don't see Tesla recovering. I am super curious to see what the board does now. There's also a bunch of people saying that there was some sort of huge breach on Twitter that could have potentially exposed a bunch of the users as bots, which Elon borrowed against X. You know, he sold X to his own AI company or whatever, but he's like borrowing against the valuation of these other companies. Long story short, it sounds like there's a bunch of fucking fraud that he might get exposed for like literally any second now. So that should be fun. Speaking of Elon Musk, he says he's wrapping up his work at Doge, which is interesting because I just heard that he was contracted 3 months, he's contracted a bit longer than this. Originally, though, although this wasn't contracted, that they were projecting that Doge would wrap up the project in July of 2026. So it's interesting that he's now coming out and saying that like they're wrapping it up very early. And that could be because his companies are failing and like he needs to get back to that. Or it could be a million other sketchy ass fucking things, right? I'm sure whatever's happening behind closed doors in the White House is probably not great. And I don't really know, not just in the White House, but in Washington in general. Obviously, he's gotten a tremendous amount of pushback. It's just not going well. Like, it's not, he's firing literally everyone and their mom, but the sentiment towards him is very poor and it's just not good. So I don't know if that is what is accounting for him trying to dip out as quickly as possible. Speaking of him being horribly embarrassed, Susan Crawford fucking won in Wisconsin. Woo! And Brad Schimmel lost by over 10 points. And, you know, Elon sunk $21 million into that race. Cheers, bitch. I think we're feeling pretty, you know, a renewed sense of hope at the turnout there. And that, you know, I've just seen a lot of people being like, Wisconsin can't be bought. And that's awesome. Good for you, Wisconsin. The TikTok thing is such a fucking shit show too. So Amazon made a last minute bid to buy TikTok. I think like today. They're just like, hey, can we buy TikTok? Like I don't think that's how that works, babe. I think it's usually kind of like a long conversation. Did I see OnlyFans is interested in buying TikTok? I'm like 90% sure. Don't quote me on that, but like there's some like weird companies are stepping up that are interested. Amazon makes a lot of sense because TikTok is actually a major threat to Amazon. Here's the problem with all of this. At this point, no matter who buys TikTok, it's going to fuck it up. It's already fucked up. Like it's not very good anymore. But this is going to fuck it up way worse. And I like don't really care. So it is scheduled to literally go dark on Saturday. The first time that TikTok got banned, I felt like I was literally breaking up with someone. I was like crying online. I love TikTok has been kind of a spiritual experience for me. It's hard to explain. But it really has been. It's been such a strange, I never intended to go viral there in the first place. I went viral the day that Roe v. Wade got overturned. Had no intention of ever making content and just like had this like weird experience where I felt like I like had to say something. And Anyways, it was crazy, and then I just like never shut up again. Still to this day. It was like when Forrest Gump started running and he just kept going. And that's exactly what's happened. So, it has changed my life in so many ways, but it feels so much like it's run its course, and not just for me personally. I mean, the things about TikTok that made it so beautiful and authentic and real, like the algorithm is really it. Their algorithm is out of this world, literally. Like it again, it's like a spiritual experience. But when it's being suppressed and just they're feeding you dumb shit, I mean, some of it's cute, don't get me wrong, but like I only want to watch a video of a frog attack someone's hand so many times. For some reason, they have shown me like 6 of those. I liked the first one. It was funny. It was cute. Someone was trying to take this tomato away from the frog, and then the frog freaked out. His eyes were twitching. It was cute. But anyways, the point is, I don't want to see that anymore. I'm good on that for the rest of my life, And so it's not like when the train derailed in, was it like Palestine, Illinois or something? It's a random little city, and it was full of chemicals, and we were like breaking the news all over TikTok, and it wasn't even on the fucking news channels yet, and people were going out to rivers and filming the chemicals floating down these rivers. That to me is like the core of why TikTok was so incredibly valuable to us as a tool, to make sure that they could not lie to us, could not suppress information, to make sure that we were getting the real information out there to our communities in record fucking time. Like, they couldn't do anything about it. And, they've really fucked it up on purpose, obviously. Like, they don't want us to have this information. It is very sad. And, I don't know what the world looks like without a tool like that. Probably a lot more like it looked when I grew up, like how would I have been affected by previous wars if I had been watching citizens get blown up from my phone? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it really changes things when you're hearing first person perspectives of people that are on the ground in these places. So yeah, I think losing that is a tremendous loss to humanity. Well, the United States anyways, because obviously everyone else is fine. They'll probably still have TikTok. But my point is, I have processed this personally, and if it goes, it goes, and it's already gone. So we'll see what happens with that. Probably someone's going to buy it. But I don't know if they're going to be doing it by Saturday, or if we're going to experience a bunch of disruption again, and then people just lose interest and they don't come back, Anyways, Cory Booker actually stayed on the Senate floor for over 25 hours. He said some pretty cool shit, man. He took a lot of responsibility. He said the Democrats and him absolutely haven't done enough, and that he hears us, and I'm gonna fuck up, I don't have any direct quotes written down from him. You should just go watch maybe the highlights reel. It was pretty inspirational. I really appreciate him doing that. He literally didn't even, I guess he stopped eating and drinking in almost the full day before, so that he wouldn't have to use the bathroom or something, which is crazy. I appreciate that. I appreciate the self-reflection. It seemed sincere. Is it too little too late? I don't know. Probably. It's still better hearing that than not hearing it at all. I mean, we'll see what happens. But I'm seeing a lot of positive sentiment back to him, again, on TikTok from all the different creators, and people giving him kudos, and people feeling a little bit more fired up, probably also because of Wisconsin. So I don't know. I think it's worth something, and we'll see. And also, there are Republicans voting with Democrats in a few things in the last couple days. So 4 Republicans, I didn't write down their names, I don't really care, but 4 Republicans voted with the Dems in a resolution to block the tariffs on Canada. Here's the thing. It's pretty much just symbolic. It's very unlikely that anything's actually going to come of this. Yes, it passed through, but I think it has to pass through maybe the House or some other, I don't know. it's not going to do anything, but it does send a message that I think the Republicans are not a wall right now. They're not like an immovable force that is one. And I think that we see that with what just happened with Mike Johnson and the vote over proxy voting. And now this, I think people are getting sick of his shit. I mean, fingers crossed that they fall apart. That would be absolutely sweet. There are giant storms everywhere. Actually, it's been raining here in Michigan for like 16 hours. I'm not even kidding. There's floods, there's tornadoes in the South and the Midwest. I think it's unpredictable how bad it will get. I know that there's a bunch of warnings being issued. Here's the thing. Also, all the agencies that track this shit are fucked up and like everyone got fired. And also like, if there are disasters, all the agencies that come in and repair those things are also fucked up and everyone got fired. So, I don't know, man. I even heard somebody talking about how the agency, is it OSHA? No, that's for workers. What regulates our food safety? Is it OSHA? I don't know. Anyways, we like don't have it anymore. So, for restaurants. I think whatever agency regulates like cleanliness and stuff at restaurants also got dismantled. Here locally in Michigan, I got sober in a particular city here, and some of those organizations got shut down today. Like they lost all their funding, like they don't have enough funding to stay open. Hearing from, I have a lot of friends that work in various like social work type of industries, and they're all fucked. They're all fucked. Lots of people getting fired, lots of people losing their jobs, lots of organizations shutting down. That means that there's going to be like nowhere. There's a place locally where addicts and alcoholics can go to like try to detox and stay safe before they can go to a rehab, and like that's completely shut down. So I don't really know what that means. I know that they basically like defunded mental health care and like addiction healthcare. Lots and lots of really, really messed up changes. And again, for some reason, I've just like settled into this in my bones and in my like heart and soul. I feel like, I told someone yesterday, I feel like I'm like almost like physically getting into position for something. I don't know how to explain this emotional sensation. I know that like we have a lot of shit to go through here coming up. And I think that I expect the worst. And I don't know what I mean exactly when I say that, but I do think, again, like, if we have to face major natural disasters or like another pandemic or just, it's going to be bad. And also like whatever's about to happen with the economy is not going to be good. So, you know, I would just say mentally expect the worst. I tell a lot of people that, actually. If you expect the worst, I wouldn't say that like therapists would give this advice, but in some situations you should fucking expect the worst, because like it looks like the worst is probably coming, right? So expect it to be really fucking bad. And then if it's not, that's awesome, sweet, like relax, you know what I mean? That you can enjoy that day, that it's not so bad. But I think it's less like gut-wrenching to me because I don't feel surprised fucking at all. Like, not a tiny bit of me is surprised. I'm not saying I'm not angry about the injustice of it. Again, there's certain things that like hurt me more than others emotionally. But I think, yeah, shit's gonna really fucking suck for a while, and I don't know what the period of time is gonna be, and no one does. So we're just gonna do our best. The CDC is completely gutted, right? But specifically their IVF team. So their IVF team is this interesting organization called Assisted Reproductive Technology Surveillance Team. So this is really weird. Interesting and probably very important information. but it sounds like they surveil the results that different IVF clinics are getting and then like report on them quarterly or yearly or something. So they'll be like, this clinic has a 15% success rate this year. So that parents, because IVF is extremely expensive, so that people that are looking to go spend their money on IVF can like make a decision and be informed. It's almost like the Better Business Bureau for IVF or something. Anyways, they're really upset. A lot of people are really upset because Trump has been like calling himself the fertilization president. I didn't even report on that the other day because I'm just like, I can't. He's so disgusting. And so they feel like betrayed. Again, everyone, don't feel betrayed. Expect to be betrayed by this man. He will betray you. I don't care what he said to you about whatever it is. If you're a farmer, if you're a veteran, if you're a fucking whatever, if you're his kid, I'm sorry. It's coming. It's a matter of time. He will betray you. So anyways, people are really upset about that. Yeah, okay. We have some pretty big problems right now. So, it's going to get worse. The Senate Republicans released their new budget, and it's people are calling it magical mathematics because it has raised the debt ceiling by $5 trillion and added an additional $1.5 trillion in tax cuts for the wealthy. Yay! I don't know. It's a fucking disaster. I don't know why these are like the worst possible stories to end with, and I'm really sorry. I'm so tired. Whatever. I need to report on this stuff because it's important stuff happening, but unfortunately, Israel's military says that they are expanding their operations in Gaza to take more of the land from Gaza, basically. So again, I'm sorry, I don't want to be right about this, but it's been very obvious what the plan was, and they are, moving forward with that plan. It is becoming increasingly more dangerous. There are almost no supplies whatsoever to Palestinians on the ground in Gaza, and we gotta get them the fuck out of there. Again, I know that's an unpopular sentiment, and I don't want them to have to leave their homeland. I just don't know. If no one's gonna stop it, then what the fuck else is there as far as options? Just let them get bombed to death, it's not a good situation. I don't know what to do. Fortunately for me, I do not have any power in that situation whatsoever, nor do I have any ability to do anything about it. It's just a really horrible, horrible thing that is continuously happening. And I can't believe it's been going on for this long either. This is the last story, but North Korea is apparently furious with Trump in the United States because Pete Hegseth just went and had a meeting with Japan, and they have some sort of like a missile deal going on with Japan, I guess. So North Korea says that we're trying to militarize Japan, and I understand that North Korea feels like threatened by Japan having additional weapons. I don't know what Pete Hegseth is fucking doing. I don't know what the thought process behind it is. I do not know enough about the region or the nuance of any of that. Just telling you that is a thing that is happening. Anyways, are you guys watching White Lotus? These last episodes are getting weird. And not that it's ever not been a weird show, but they're getting a little weirder. So I'm going to go watch the rest of the most recent episode of White Lotus. I would love to watch more TV after that. I literally don't know if I can do it. I'm so tired. I might just go read a little bit more about the Great Depression to, mentally prepare myself and then go to bed. But again, I hope all of you guys are eating and sleeping and not taking any of this personally to the best of your abilities. That is much easier said than done. If you are freaking out, some natural things that have helped me I take CBD oil every day. No THC in it whatsoever. You don't feel anything at all. I don't even know if it's actually doing anything. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. It might not be really. It seems like it is, but I don't know if that's true or not. And I also was for a couple years, I think, taking. I recently stopped because I feel like I don't really need it, and it's not good to like take it continuously forever. Ashwagandha, I took it in conjunction with a probiotic. So ashwagandha is interesting because it also helps like regulate your blood sugar, and I think it might like lower your blood pressure. I don't know. Look it up. It's just like it's kind of like a natural anti-anxiety, antidepressant. But again, obviously if you're taking other medications, consult your doctor and all that. But for some reason lately, although it makes no sense whatsoever, I have been feeling pretty good. So I was like, you know what? I'm taking a break, and I haven't taken it in a couple weeks, and I feel exactly the same. So maybe that wasn't doing anything either. I don't know. I'm just saying there are things you can do. I also highly recommend walking every single day, a bare minimum of 1 mile. That really has been one of the more life-changing habits that I have is walking. Again, with the Forrest Gump. Anyways, I love you guys. Sleep well. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, one more thing. I will not be here on Friday, so mentally prepare yourself for that. I have dinner plans, and they're kind of far away, so it's just not reasonable that I'm going to be able to squeeze it in at any point, but I will do a longer show on Saturday. Okay, love you. Bye.